All right, everybody. Season 2, episode 16 of the Swishlist Podcast. Welcome in. Welcome in. How we doing? How we doing? We got a lot to talk about today. Namely, it's going to be finals predictions and a lot of discussions around the playoffs. You might even talk a little bit about the coaching situation in college basketball. But primarily, if you are tuning into this podcast, you're going to hear our takes, our opinions on some of these matchups that we're seeing for the postseason. Because yes, that's right, for all of you NBA casuals that have been watching games through clips on your phone and paying attention to SGA's captions on Instagram, it's finally the time where we watch every minute of basketball. The postseason starts this weekend, and it's about to be exciting.
First of all, I just want to say shout out to the NBA. What a great season. It's
That's
been a
on me.
great season. I just need to say that. I just need to
That's
say it's
on
been a
me.
great season. The final day was great. Every team played today. It was so many playoff implications that could have happened. I enjoyed it so much. I hated that it was uh East played, then West played. Like that kind of made me angry. Like I couldn't really watch every game in detail. But
Yeah.
a lot of them were blowouts. So but it was still fun to see. Like this team could finish third in the East or eighth. Like it was just really fun to see today. So there was a lot of possible ways that it played out, and I think it played out really nicely.
My mother texted my wife and I. She wants us all to hang out Saturday. My wife said, we're going to Lagoon. I said, Meg, it's the postseason. She said, well, we're going to Lagoon. And for those of you that don't know, Lagoon is a theme park in Utah, right? Like Six Flags, but great value Six Flags. And I said, yeah, that's okay, because the postseason travels. I could watch the games on my phone. So NBA, if you need somebody like as an advocate for your app, like hit me up this week. I will be at the park listening to the postseason, sneaking looks at my phone while my mom and my wife and my son are riding rides. That's right. I'm on stroller duty, and I've never been happier to be baked in the sun watching the postseason. Roman, I feel like all of the conversation over the past week or so has been about these play-in slots, especially in the West. Everything's locked in at this point. Matchups have been decided. We don't have to have any hypothetical conversations. I can look at the West. I literally have the tournaments right here on my computer. I've got Kings Warriors and I've got Pelicans Lakers. Only two teams are coming out of this. Somehow the Suns were able to escape it. What do you see happening with the play-in tournament? Let's start in the West.
In the West, it it's close. That's the problem here. I figured the Pelicans were going to get the 6th seed,
Yep.
but uh, the Suns just ended up destroying the Timberwolves today. I mean, the score may not show it as much as they did, but I mean, during the first quarter, at one point I think it's 44-22. So
Yeah.
the Suns just came out and were like, "We're gonna win," and then the Pelicans end up losing, so they get the 7th seed. This is my thing, and I put this in my notes for the 7-8 game for the Pelicans and Lakers. If
Mhm.
you're the Lakers, wouldn't you want to hold out and like you don't want to see the Nuggets in the first round? Nobody wants to see the Nuggets first round. And if they win this game, they have to go and play the Nuggets in the first round. And the Nuggets destroyed them throughout the entire regular season. I know it's the
Yeah.
regular season,
No, but
but
it's
nobody
legitimate.
wants to see the NBA champion of last year in the first round. But it's like it's risky to, you know, purposefully lose a game, which they're not going to do. But like you would want to play the third youngest team in the NBA, OKC. Shout out to them, the 1 seed. The third youngest team has no playoff success. Nobody on that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to play that team? But it's too much of a risk. But it's just got me thinking like you play the Nuggets the first round. The Lakers are not beating the Nuggets the first round. As good as they are, I don't think they beat the Nuggets. So it's like it's tough for me. I think the Lakers are going to beat the Pelicans. I mean, well, if every single time they play them this year, I think they won. And it hasn't been every single time when the Lakers really do play, it's
Yeah.
blowout. They just know how to beat the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Like you talked about this with me when LeBron sees Zion, he's heard the comparison.
Yeah.
He wants to beat him.
He
And
brings a little
does.
something extra when he plays
He
against Zion for
does.
sure.
He
Yeah.
does. So just getting back straight to your question, uh, I've got the Lakers winning that game. They just beat the Pelicans at their place,
Okay.
destroyed them. We're up by 30. And then Warriors, I mean, Steph rested, Draymond rested. So I think the Warriors would beat the Kings. And then for that game versus Pelicans and Warriors, I'd probably take Warriors. I don't want to bet against Steph.
Yeah,
It's
it's hard
Steph.
to.
The guy, the champion, either winner. I wouldn't bet against him. So I know a few weeks ago we had talked about, and I said the Warriors and the Lakers were going to lose, but with the way they've been performing to stay in it the past few weeks, I
Mhm.
think those two teams are going to win now.
Before I give you my answer, can we just take a moment and appreciate these matchups that we got in the postseason? We got Bucks Pacers,
I wanted to talk about this too. It
and we're
seems
gonna
like
get
the Bucks and the
and
Pacers
they hate
played
each other.
so many times this year. They hate each other. It seems like they
Yes.
played 10 times throughout the season, and now we get a playoff matchup. It's perfect.
And listen, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to all of these matchups. Okay, we're gonna get to them. But we got Bucks Pacers. Then we got the Knicks at the 2 seed. That that are probably gonna play the 76ers. We've got the Cavs and the Magic. A great matchup for the Magic. We got a playoff rematch, Kings Warriors to make the postseason. Excuse me. We got we got Clippers Mavericks. We got a Clippers Mavericks rematch.
Again, these
Like
teams do not like Luca does not like the Clippers.
he hates
This
them.
is
It's
it
like,
almost seems like it's scripted. It's too
oh,
perfect.
dude, it's so good. Okay, so now let me get to my answer. Okay. If you're the Lakers, right? To your point, not wanting to play the Thunder, not wanting to play the Nuggets. Let's be really honest. One of the things that really I'm kind of tired of hearing is all of these people making it sound like a play-in team is going to win a championship. I know that the Miami Heat, they had a run and then they got absolutely obliterated in the finals by the Nuggets last season. Okay. You're not winning a ring if you're a play-in team. You're just not doing it. And you can go off of Phil Jackson's like the 40 before 20 rules and all those types of things. But let me tell you something. You're not winning a championship if you can barely make the playoffs. You're just not good enough. So if you're LeBron James, do you want to have to play against the Warriors to make the postseason? I wouldn't, even though you match up really well against the Warriors in terms of size. I don't want to play Steph Curry to make the postseason. Not a chance. Do I want to play the Pelicans and maybe at least have two chances to get in? I'm here for that. I'm here for that because I believe that they're going to beat the Pelicans. AD wants to give the Pelicans something that if he's healthy, we'll see what the back injury is. LeBron always has something extra for Zion Williamson. And yes, you're probably going to lose to the Denver Nuggets when you make the postseason. A respectable gentleman's sweep is probably what I'd predict. But I would rather lose to the Nuggets than lose to the Thunder. I think it's better for LeBron's legacy overall to lose to Jokic, who's going to be, who very well may be a three-time MVP and the reigning champs, than to lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have zero playoff experience. On the other side, Kings Warriors, going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a must watch. Okay. You have to watch that game. If you even think you like basketball, you need to watch that game. I've got the Warriors winning. Warriors versus the Pelicans. I mean, sure, we'd all love to see Zion drop 40 and show us what he really can do. He won't. I've got the Warriors winning that game as well. And a Warriors Thunder matchup. Steph Curry, right? This is what makes it so great. Do you remember the KD Warriors? I mean, sorry, the not the Warriors KD. Do you remember the Oklahoma City Kevin Durant Thunder? Like that, like those teams is KD, Harden, Westbrook. Their run to the finals, and I'm not saying that OKC's going to the finals, everybody. Okay, just listen. Just listen. Don't jump to conclusions. What a great first matchup to give these guys playoff experience than to play against Steph Curry and to possibly send him home, right? That's the type of thing that we saw from the Thunder the last time when they did make a finals run. They sent Kobe Bryant packing. They sent multiple historic teams with plenty of veterans. They sent them home and they beat them handily. And like to have the opportunity to do that in the first round, it's going to be very exciting to watch. But I've got the Warriors winning, making it to the postseason, and I've got the Lakers playing against the Nuggets as well. Transitioning to the East, I don't think anybody cares about Bulls versus Hawks points. I've got Sixers beating the Heat, probably playing the Knicks, and then I've got you have to take the Heat, so they don't even make it. So that first game doesn't even matter because it's pretty much Heat versus Celtics. So let's go. How do you wanna break this down? Do you wanna go West and then the East, or how do you wanna work it?
Go East West.
East,
They'd save
West?
the best for last. Yeah.
All right, let's talk Celtics versus you're predicting what, the Miami Heat there, or are you taking the 76ers?
Yeah. I mean, Joel's going to come back. I
Yeah.
76ers are winning.
Okay. So we're predicting Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat round 1. Who do you like?
I'll take the Heat
Yeah.
are they've got some more inexperience. I mean, the the Heat though, it's hard to say. I see this series probably going 6 games.
Okay.
I'll say that. Jimmy's going to find a way to Jimmy and Bam are going to find a way to squeeze out 2 wins. The Celtics are coming off rest. And it's not extreme rest. They've been playing the players at the start of the games.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, Kevin Love just had an injury. I don't know if he's going to be playing. It won't be that crazy, but important player. Terry Rozier is just picking up his feet with this team. Jaime
Mhm,
Hawkins is a rookie. Uh, Tyler Hero's been hurt for most of the season.
mhm,
Duncan Robinson had a great start to the season, but has kind of declined.
mhm.
His team is just interesting to me. Could have surprised probably a different team if they had run into a Pacers or a Knicks, but
The
running into the
Bucks,
Celtics,
maybe.
yeah, yeah. But running into the Celtics, who are far and away the best regular season team, um, they're not going to lose this first round. I don't see it. 6 probably.
Running into the Boston Celtics first round is like running into a brick wall thinking you're the Kool-Aid man. You're not. I'm sorry. You're getting sent home and you're about to end up in a hospital bed with the injuries you're about to feel. So I've got Boston winning this as well. This is going to be like a little bit of a revenge series for them. I'm going to take Boston in 5. I think Miami can pick up a quick early win because Boston's getting back into like playing the full games with their starters. So I think they maybe split the first 2, and then I genuinely see Boston making quick work of them. Moving to that 2-7, that's going to be Knicks versus the 76ers. My goodness, it feels like you may be the 2 seed, but you're kind of an underdog here almost. With Julius Randle being out with the season-ending shoulder surgery, what's your take, Knicks 76ers?
It's going to be a battle because the 76ers are going to just have Joel coming back, and
Mhm.
who knows, he might just get injured again. But I think it'll be a really good series. Jalen Brunson is going to have put up incredible numbers as we've seen throughout the late season.
Mhm.
Um, Probably 7 games. Um, it's worked tough because it could just be anybody.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna take the higher seed next year. They've been building this chemistry. DiVincenzo is having an incredible season from the 3-point line.
Yeah, he
Josh
is.
Hart on any given night is going to give you a triple double. They've got OG. Mitchell Robinson just came back, one of the best rebounders in the game. Hartenstein's playing really well. They've got Obi coming off the bench. Deuce coming off the bench too been their best defender. I think he gets the matchup for a maxi. He'll do incredible. So I think it's a good matchup, and Nick take it.
Let me just say this. We're not Stephen A. Smith. Roman actually watches the Knicks. He knows their legitimate rotation. Okay. Uh, Unfortunately, though, I think you might be wrong here. I'm going to go 76ers, Joel Embiid comes out ready to play. Couple 40 balls, puts it on the Knicks' head. And you know what happens in the Garden when a great player has a great game? They start cheering for Embiid over the Knicks. I think Embiid's going to show up and show out. I don't have them going far in the playoffs, but I just don't believe in this New York team. I never have, and I don't know if I ever will. The Dallas Cowboys of the NBA lose in the first round in true Cowboy fashion. I have them losing to the 76ers, but give me 7 games. I'll take it as a 7-game series. Joel Embiid becomes unstoppable in game 7, and they win it.
That's the
Okay.
process.
Trust the process, baby. Next up, we get Bucks Pacers. I don't know if there's two teams that hate each other more than these two playing in the first round. This might be the most fun first round matchup we get to watch. We've got Giannis coming off of injury. Halliburton hasn't been the same since the All-Star break. Not to mention the Bucks have been losing badly. Badly. They were supposed to be the 2 seed, and they find themselves at the 3 spot. So what do we make of this Doc Rivers failure with Milwaukee team that limped into the postseason?
Doc knows how to win a first round series.
Okay.
That's my issue here. Yes, Doc will choke a second round series or a conference finals, but the guy knows how to win a first round series with a good team. And so, with that being said, I have to say the Bucks. If Giannis can be healthy, this team will probably win. The Pacers do have their number in the regular season, but this is the playoffs. Dame has had some playoff experience with the Trailblazers. I mean, not a winning team, but
He's had some deep runs.
he's had some runs.
Yeah.
Scared the Warriors.
Mhm.
Uh, took out that OKC team
Mhm.
with Paul George.
Mhm.
A healthy Giannis can win a championship. Chris Middleton's healthy. Uh, they've got the squad. They can do it. But the Pacers' inexperience, like you said, Tyrese Halliburton has not been performing that well since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Younger team. So Pacers might steal one game. I'm going to say Bucks in 5.
I'm gonna go Bucks in 5 as well. I think there's gonna be a night where the Pacers just can't miss from the 3-point line, and the Bucks just don't have it. We've seen it too many times. But I do believe the Bucks hate these guys. I think we know that, and I don't think that anybody in Indiana likes the Bucks either.
Correct me if
Uh,
I'm wrong. This is the game where they took his game ball.
this is the we took your game ball. So what I'd love to see in this series is for Giannis to go for a career high to blow the Pacers out by 30. That's what I'd like to see personally. Is to really stick it to him in the postseason. Now, to do that, he's got to figure out whatever's going on with his leg, calf, lower leg injury that he's kind of going through right now. I know they're resting him. Um, the one thing that scares me is last year, the only reason, in my opinion, that the Bucks lost to Miami was because Giannis went out with a back injury at the worst time possible, and they just were never able to recover. He wasn't healthy when he came back, but was forcing it to try and win a couple games. Him going down is scary. This team cannot beat the Pacers without Giannis. Everything depends on him, but I do think that they'll win it. I'm with you, 5 games. Moving on, Cleveland versus the Orlando Magic.
This one unpredictable. It's two franchises that for the past few years are not experienced in the playoffs, especially
Yeah,
the Magic.
yeah.
But uh, the Magic are just completely unpredictable. I mean, Paulo could randomly just give you 30. Jalen Suggs has been their energy guy, their defensive guy. They got Wendell Carter Jr. back, who has been great for them. They're
Mhm.
a young, unpredictable team right
But they've never been here
now.
before. They've never been
Never
here
been here
before.
before. I mean, the Cavs did lose first round last year.
But Donovan,
Kind of throws me, but Donovan Mitchell has had playoffs.
he's played in and
Playoff runs.
his series against Denver in the bubble was all time,
Wow, incredible.
all time.
They were one Mike Conley 3-pointer away from playing the Lakers in the conference
Mhm.
finals.
Mhm.
Um, so you got to go Cavs here. It's just a matter of how many games. Um, I think it's either a 5 or 6. I don't think it goes to 7. I'm going to say 6 just because it's the Cavs, another unpredictable team. But yeah, I'm going to say 6 games. The Cavs win in 6.
This might be some carryover from the NCAA tournament where you're just itching to pick an upset. And this is the 4-5 where I'm taking an upset. You know what? Give me the Orlando Magic. Give me the Orlando Magic. I'm placing a bet with my eyes closed. I have no confidence behind this. But the theme
Just got a
song,
feeling.
the the meteoric rise of Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic. Give me the Magic to win this series. I think it's gonna go long, but I think the Magic win it in 6, actually. I think Donovan comes out, has a decent game, Orlando punches them in the mouth and then punches them again at home, and they end up like uh, they find
Just you have a
themselves
visit. You
they
have a
find
visit.
themselves 3-2. They win a final game, and there you have it. They win it at home. It never goes back to Cleveland. I have the Orlando Magic winning the series. Uh, I I feel like a maniac, but I'm gonna lock it in, and I'm never gonna look at this pick or this clip again unless I'm right.
The only time will tell. I wouldn't be mad if that happened. It's not like anybody's betting on the Cavs, so,
Yeah. It's
I
good for
wouldn't be mad.
it's good for basketball if the Magic win, and if you're a Lakers fan, it's good for you too, because we know you're trying to get Donovan Mitchell. If you're a Knicks fan, it's good for you too. You know you're trying to get Donovan Mitchell. You don't want them to win in the first round. You want them to get bounced. You want their owner to say, "Get this guy out of here. Why are we paying Donovan all this money to lose in the first round?" That's what you want. That's what we want too. Okay? Orlando, lock it in 6. Okay, moving to the West, we've got Thunder Warriors. That's what we're predicting. We've already picked our play-in matchups. Go ahead, Roman, lead us off.
Mm, tough one, tough one, tough one. The OKC is so young,
Yeah, but
but
SGA is a freak, dude.
like, they just win. They just win, and I don't understand how, Jalen Williams is incredibly clutch for being 21 years old. It really doesn't make sense how they're so good. They're such good shooters. I think this is just a testament to, the skill that is being gained as the game is advancing. Like, these young kids are coming into it with the unbelievable amount of skill. It's incredible to see. Like, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, and they're
Yeah,
so young. That
yeah.
that advancement from the college line to the 3-point line it's hard to do, and they're so good at it. So, shout out them. Um, again, you mentioned it, the 2012 run from OKC where, they played the Spurs, they played the Mavericks, they played the Lakers, and they made it to the finals. I see something similar to that. So I'm going to take OKC. Shea talked about it in a post-game interview actually today. He was like, I think our inexperience will help us. They're not going to go into it really knowing what a playoff series is like, and
Yeah.
they're just going to be playing basketball. So I feel like they win to at home to start the playoff series. They just play like some home games and they go 2-0. But I think it's probably going to go to 7, but OKC wins in 7.
I don't think that the Thunder are afraid of the Warriors. I really don't. Like, I think they have respect for the history of the Warriors dynasty,
Who is
but
your
I
favorite other than Steph?
I think when they walk on the floor, I don't think anybody in Oklahoma City is afraid of Golden State. Like, do you remember that? You remember that game when Shea posted literally every highlight play of him scoring over Steph?
That game was incredible. He
I
destroyed.
Yeah, that
He
was the moment
destroyed
for
the
me.
Warriors.
That was the moment for me where I was like, this man, he's not afraid of them at all. And I think he's gonna send them home. I'm actually gonna take the Thunder in I wanna say 5. I wanna say 5. Give me
It's
6.
cold, but it can happen.
Give me Thunder in 6. Here's how I think the series plays out. I think every time that the Warriors find themselves in a desperation moment, they win a game. So Thunder win 2, Golden State wins the 3rd. Thunder go up 3-1, Golden State wins, and then the Thunder close them out. That's how I see the series going. I genuinely don't think this team's afraid of them. I think they match up incredibly well. And one of the things I'd want to point out is size at each position is what's dominating the league. SGA is an oversized point guard. He dominates the league. Luka Doncic dominates the league. Wemby had an incredible rookie season, 17 points in 3 minutes versus the Nuggets. Maybe we'll get to that if we've got time. Like, the players that are just athletic freaks for their position, they're dominating right now. And he's that guy. And I don't believe that there is anyone in Golden State that can stop him. And I'm just waiting for Draymond Green to blow up and get ejected from a couple of these games. And I'm taking the Thunder. Okay, moving on. Nuggets versus the Lakers. I'll speak to this one first. Unfortunately, this is where we really this will be the final time that we believe that LeBron James even had a chance to do anything in the postseason. Anybody that's talking about, hey, LeBron, the Lakers, how far can they go? They made it to the conference finals last year. You guys need to stop it. This is year 21. If you're banking on a guy that old, you're better off placing bets with your eyes closed. All right. Similar to what I did with the Magic. I have the Nuggets winning in 5 games. I don't think this is going to be even close. I don't think the games are going to be too close. I know the regular season matchups, even though the Nuggets have won every game, they've technically been close in spots. But if Jamal Murray is healthy, the Lakers cannot beat this team. They cannot and they will not. They'll win a game at home. Maybe it's 2-1, but the Nuggets will make quick work of the Lakers and we can finally move on.
Yeah, this is neither of these teams look that different than last year. It's
Mhm.
pretty much the same matchup minus a few veterans, but saw them in the conference finals get swept. Yeah. Every single game was a close game, but the Nuggets just ended up winning every single one. Like you said, they might end up winning one, they might even get two, but it's not going to be a confident two, even if they get two. So I'm going to give I'm going to give them 6. I think they might leak in a couple games, but again, it's
Okay.
not a confident 2 games. It's like they go up, they go up 3-1, and then it's just a little bit of a run for them, and it's over. That's how I see it going. So Nuggets in 6.
Okay, Nuggets and 6. And let us know if you're listening to this right now and you think that we are way off in our predictions. Let us know in the comment section. We want to know, who do you think is going to win some of these series? Just list them out for us. Give me in the comment section first round winners and list who you think is actually going to win. I really want to know because we want to stack up our picks just like we did last year. We tracked this. Okay, we literally tracked our picks and we said, hey, who did we have? Who's correct, who's not. And we came on here and we said, I was wrong or I was right. And last year, ladies and gentlemen, we were right a lot. We were right a lot, especially Roman. Roman in particular was right a lot, a lot. He had Miami like in every single round, which was ridiculous. It was
They're a
a
story,
sight.
man.
It was a sight to behold. Okay, moving on. Timberwolves versus the Suns. The Suns were supposed to be the favorites to win it all, given the trade that they had, playing against America's team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I've got Minnesota winning this. Am I biased? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I genuinely believe that this is going to be the year that Anthony Edwards arrives. There's no better way to do it than to send an all-time great home, and that's Kevin Durant. I don't think that Devin Booker is better than Anthony Edwards at this point in his career. I believe that Anthony Edwards is going to feast against this team because they will not be able to stop him defensively. The Timberwolves have size. We'll see what happens with Karl Anthony Towns. But give me the Timberwolves in 6 games, beating the Phoenix Suns. They get it done, and they make it. Yeah, they get it done.
It's a valid point. Anthony Edwards has talked about it throughout the season. I think a valid point that he made was that a lot of people don't understand is he was like, they have Kevin Durant, but we have Jaden McDaniels. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He matches up great with KD,
That's a
which is very
crazy statement,
scary.
though. That's a
But
crazy
hey,
statement,
it's
though.
not like
Gosh.
talent wise, it's defensive wise to
I know.
offensive
It's
wise.
defense to offense, but still, it's just like,
But here's my thing: is I don't trust Rudy Gobert in the playoffs ever.
yeah,
I
it's
never
valid.
have. I don't like Rudy Gobert in the playoffs, regardless of the team he's on. He goes to a team and they have great individual success in the regular season, but they don't
Yeah,
do well in the playoffs. And he doesn't have an easy matchup. I mean, it's Yusuf Nurkic. He's one of the most physical centers in the NBA.
he is.
And he
Good
doesn't
hands.
do well with the
Pause.
physical center. Jokic owns
Yeah.
him.
Good hands.
Um,
No Diddy. No Diddy on that one.
my
My bad,
baby.
y'all. My bad. My bad.
Um, it, it's interesting here. I think Kevin Durant's going to put up Kevin Durant numbers. Devin Booker they have the playoff experience. It's my
Mhm.
only issue here. I think this is another 7-game series for me. And I'm going to take the Suns. I think the Suns win. I don't like the Timberwolves. I don't like Rudy. I don't like a young Anthony Edwards. I'm not a fan of it.
Gosh, I don't like Rudy Gobert either, but I just want to believe in Anthony Edwards.
I never
Gosh, dang it, dude. I just want to believe. I just want to believe, man.
I just want
Um,
to see a good series out of these two teams. I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see a good series. And I know
I
you
think
want to
we
see
will.
them win, but I just want to see at least 6 games. I think we're going to say.
Ugh. Okay, Clippers Mavericks. This is a volatile series. This is probably the most volatile series that we're gonna watch. You could
It's
make the argument it's the toughest to predict, given how much knowledge we have on the players we're watching. Everybody's seen these guys play. I mean, I can understand if you can't pick Cavs Magic because you didn't watch. They didn't. I mean, the Magic weren't even on TV. But Clippers Mavericks. I mean, we've seen these guys. Scoring champion Luca, Kyrie, fringe 50, 40, 90 guy, and then we know who the Clippers are. Roman, what are we about to see on TV?
I think we see a Maverick team come out and win probably the first game dominantly.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
just okay. I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna take the Clippers winning the series. Watch
okay.
it praise Luca, and Luca's having an MVP season. It's just the Clippers are healthy. Russ just came back.
Yep.
Harden's gonna be coming back. Kawhi, Paul George is putting up incredible numbers. They have their team. This is what they've been prepping for. This is what we see from them, what we've been seeing from them throughout the regular season. They had some injuries that kind of put them down. That's why they're the seed that they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember at one point, this was the hottest team in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like they're going to get those guys back. The Mavericks, it's just so tough to tell because they got Daniel Gafford, and Daniel Gafford is the perfect center for
He's
Luca.
been fantastic.
He plays defense and he catches every lob. I mean, the guy made what I think it was almost 30 field goals in a row or over 30 field goals in a row because just catches passes from Luca. It's
Yeah.
exactly what he wants. But Kawhi Leonard had playoff success. Paul George is going to be Paul George. Hopefully, we don't see him downgrade. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell, Zubats. This team is built to win. So I would normally say 7, but I have confidence in the Clippers as much as I like Luka and Kyrie. So I'm going to say the Clippers taking at 6.
I agree with you. I agree with you. This is the only thing that gets in the way. And granted, I'm probably I could see Luca going. He'll have a 50 piece. I think he might have a 50 piece this series. Like, there's going to be a game where Luca just is unstoppable. Nobody can touch him. This is the one thing that makes me nervous. Okay, Kawhi and his health. The Clippers have been very cryptic about like what they've said in terms of how his knees feeling, how he's feeling going into the postseason, regardless of games he's played, minutes he's played. And this is the only reason why I get nervous is because when he what tore his ACL for the Clippers and they still listed him as day to day. Like, he was listed as day to day with a torn ACL, and then all of a sudden, one day, randomly, they were like, "Yeah, he's getting knee surgery
Well,
on
yeah,
his
they called it
ACL."
knee issues, and then it was knee
Yes,
swelling. And then
yes.
they were just like, oh, yeah, he's done.
They're like, "Yeah, by the way, he tore his ACL," like, casually, just like that's the one thing that I'm a little bit nervous about with the Clippers is even though if you read the reports, it looks like everybody's going to be healthy, I don't know what that actually means because it's this franchise. So, give me the Clippers in 6 games. Give me Luka going off early in the series and putting up like 45, 50 points, but I'm gonna take the Clippers to send Luka and the Mavericks home, and I can hear it now, man. People start chirping, "Luka's not a winner. I was on that train a year ago, and I can't wait to be right back on that bus this
I
year."
had hopes for Luka. He just had to run the Clippers and
Yeah.
have a little bit more confidence.
They would have been better off matching up with, somebody a little different. So, okay. Now, we're not gonna give you guys our full playoff predictions. We wanted to go through first round matchups. That's quite a bit. But Roman, I would like to know, given how everything's now been decided, who's your favorite to go to the finals?
We will see. I think this is my next same finals prediction, which it was wrong. Uh, Nuggets, Celtic, the two teams who should be in the finals. I like to go with the odds. I'm the type of guy who I'm not a very, "Oh, surprise, this team gonna win." I wanted to see Lakers Celtics last year.
Yeah,
I think it would've been really fun. I think that matchup would be great for the finals, the 2
yeah.
greatest teams in the sport. But I think we're gonna see Nuggets Celtics. There's no reason we shouldn't, unless there's injury. The Nuggets will probably be the final matchup.
Chalk wins a lot in the NBA. For anybody that doesn't know what chalk is, that's just whoever the favorite is, higher seed. Wow. And do you have the Celtics winning that series?
It's
Who do you have
it's
winning that series?
Celtics in 7.
A 7-game series, Celtics
That's what
winning.
we all wanna see, right? That would be incredible.
We all want to see 7 games. I can agree with that one. Celtics winning, I don't know if I want to see that.
You don't wanna see the Celtics win?
I don't like Jalen Brown. I don't like him. I don't
I
I
don't
haven't
either.
I haven't he's supposed to win, like, 6 rings in, like, the next, like, 48 days or something, right? Like, for Taylor Rooks. Something about the guy, I'm just like, you talk a big game for not being able to dribble with your left hand. That's just me. Okay, finals matchup. Gosh, I had the Bucks to start the season, and, wow, do they look terrible.
And you got a great coach to back it up now too.
Oh, yeah, and then they went and got Doc Rivers.
Who's very reliable in the playoffs.
I'm gonna take the Celtics in the East, which this sucks because it just means my start of the season pick is wrong. And then if the Bucks win, I just still look like an idiot.
You
But
might
I'm gonna
the Bucks, might as well.
just commit to being wrong again.
Well,
No,
who
give
knows? Giannis might put together an incredible run.
I hope so, Giannis. If you do, I'm gonna go back and clip this episode. Just cut this part right out.
Yeah,
Give me the Boston Celtics.
I know who you want to take.
Who?
See, the matchup you want to see is Timberwolves Bucks. That's what you want to see. I know that.
Hey,
I think
don't get me too excited. No, what teams actually can match up? The Thunder can't match up with the Nuggets. The Mavericks, I already have losing. I don't think the Timberwolves can beat the Nuggets, even though they could match up decently, technically. Until Jamal Murray gets him in a pick and roll and then go bare on Jamal Murray. We've seen that before. The Clippers, I think that they'll
it's so hard to.
Clippers Nuggets. Clippers Nuggets. It's Zubats versus Jokic, and then it's everybody. I've said this many a time. If there's a team that could really give the Nuggets a game in the postseason, it's the Clippers. The Clippers, because they have a center, Zubats, that can match up for size, but it's just the number of guys that will drive and put Jokic in foul trouble. Like you've got Harden, Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard all driving at Jokic. If you can get him into foul trouble
Or
and he's
no.
out of the game, like there you go. And it's star on star, so somebody's getting called for a foul. Period. But the Clippers to the finals, the LA Clippers, the Clippers I've known my whole life. Wow.
Lob City all the way to Nash.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Nuggets as back-to-back champions, and people start to really question Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. I think it's the end of the Boston Celtics as we know it after this season, and I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets to be repeat champions. I'll take that as a 6-game series. I don't think it goes to 7, even though we'd want to see it. But I'll take Nuggets in 6. Those are our first round predictions, and now we're just going to have to wait and see how things play out. We're just going to have to wait and see.
I do want you to make your MVP and defensive player of the year predictions. Those are the only 2 that are kind of like a little bit up in the air. Most of them
Okay.
are just kind of locked up with Maxey.
Yeah.
Coach of the year is kind of locked up with Dagnall. But I want to hear because you've heard this conversation with the defensive player of the year, right?
Yeah. But for
Stuff
anybody that
about him.
hasn't, if anybody hasn't, explain it to them.
So There's there's the top two right now. There's Rudy Gobert and there's Wemby. And they were talking about this a lot on the TNT show.
Mhm.
Is the defensive player of the year the best defender on the best defensive team? Or is it the best individual player? Because Rudy Gobert is leading the league in blocks. I mean, not Rudy Gobert. Wemby's leading the league in blocks. Uh, he's doubled up Rudy. This I think he's almost doubled him this season. It has more than he had in the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
His block numbers are incredible. The Spurs are the best defensive team in the league when Wemby is on the court, and then they
Mhm.
switch to one of the worst when he's off the court.
Mhm.
He is the best individual defender in the NBA. But Rudy Gobert is the best defender on the best defending team. So this is where Shaq has talked about, and he thinks that Wemby deserves it because he is the defensive player of the year. It's an individual award. But Rudy Gobert is leading the best team, the best defensive team in the NBA as the best defender. So that's where it's a toss up there. What do you think?
Okay, so listen, like, just go and watch the freaking games, okay? Just go watch the freaking games. When NBA players drive the basketball on a fast break and Wembanyama is in the vicinity of them, they will literally run away. They the best players on planet Earth at the game of basketball, when they see that man even close to them or even think he's close to them, the thought of him being around makes them run away and pass the ball to someone else. That should speak for itself because people do not do that when Rudy Gobert is around. They don't. They don't. They try and dunk it on his face because it's that easy to do. They go right at him. And I'm not saying it's that easy to do in terms of like Rudy Gobert's not a good center. Okay, this is not the bash Rudy Gobert fest. We've done that before. This is if you legitimately watch the games, Wemby is the best. He should win it. He should win it. If you watch the
What
games, he
does it
should win
say
it.
about the defensive player of the year, defensive player of the year award though?
If it go because the Spurs are one of the worst teams
Spurs are, yeah,
defensively, it says the
well,
same
just one of the
thing.
worst teams in the league.
Yeah, it says the same thing that the NBA awards have said for the past 10 years, that it's a narrative-driven award. It's never been based on who's actually the best at any position or at any time. The defensive we're talking about like how about we go to this? How about Marc Gasol winning a defensive player of the year award and not even being all NBA first team all defense? Okay? So acting like this is the first time that this award has been debunked is not true. Wemby is the best defensive player if you watch the games. If you didn't watch the games, you're going to want to give the award to Rudy Gobert. That's my opinion. And I think the same thing goes for the MVP. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should be the MVP. He should be the MVP in my opinion. This doesn't take anything away from Jokic, but look at who the Thunder were and who the Thunder are. They're the number one seed. They, I mean, this is a team that couldn't even make the playoffs. We thought that this
10
rebuild was going
seed
to go on forever. 10
or
seed,
the 10 seed.
from the 10 seed to the 1 seed, and the West has been incredibly competitive. I mean, you're looking at teams with nearly 50 wins in the play-in tournament. Okay, the Lakers have 49 wins, or the Pelicans have 49 wins. They're in the play-in tournament. All right. So I believe Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should be the MVP. I think he's done more. The 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 leap that team and that he's taken this season, he deserves the MVP.
He is the most valuable player to a
Most
franchise.
valuable player to a franchise.
That makes sense.
Exactly. And so he's who I would give that award to personally. That's who I think deserves it. And those would be my two picks. What say you?
Defensive player of the year should be Wemby. I agree. It should be him. I agree with you. I was going to say the same thing about how it's been a joke. The awards have been a joke. And what does it say to give Rudy another one? Is he in the conversation with a uh,
Yep.
Dikembe Mutombo?
It's a great
Uh,
argument.
which maybe in a few years he can get another, but it's a narrative-driven award. The media's not going to give it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I don't think he'll get it. Voter fatigue is the thing, which is the same thing for the MVP. I don't think Jokic will get it again. I'd see Luka getting it before he gets it.
Mm.
Mavericks didn't make the playoff last year, and now they're the 4 seed. Luka's averaging
5 seed.
double 5 seed. Um, he's averaging the most points in the NBA. He's second in assists. So he has a case for it, but I agree with you. I think SGA should get it. He probably will get it, but Luka will be probably a close second.
Nice. Speaking of Wemby, dude, did you see his 17 points in 3 minutes? When he gets
Yes, I didn't
oh my
watch
gosh,
the
dude.
game.
Oh my gosh. Insane, dude. Insane. Just
This is another cool thing about it. Like things being so close over the past few days. I just want to mention this on how much things got messed up. If the Nuggets win that game, they're probably the 1 seed
yeah.
because they won their other game and they probably win. The Cavaliers lost to Charlotte today, which made them the 4 seed instead of the 2 seed. Like
Yep.
them losing to bad teams and the way that the Spurs won was just incredible on the
Oh,
mental
so
level.
freaking good,
Uh,
dude.
but I don't know why. I just wanted to mention that it was so fun to just see random bad teams just the Nuggets were up by 20 plus at one point, and the Spurs just came back and beat them because Wemby's just incredible. So
Yeah, this could be a fun segment, Roman. I'd love to hear what your answer is to this, but what was your worst take this season? I'll tell you mine. Mine was that Scoot Henderson was gonna be the next top tier
I
athletic point
I had
guard.
high hopes for Scoot
I
too.
had Scoot Henderson as the next that it was Derrick Rose, Westbrook, John Morant, and then Scoot Henderson was gonna be that guy, and I dogged Wemby, and I was so incredibly wrong, and I will own that 100%. Wemby lived up to the hype. He had a great first year, a fantastic first year. I'm really excited to see what this kid does, over the next few seasons throughout his entire career because oh my gosh. I mean, Scoot was like one of the worst. Like he had like one of the worst efficiency ratings in the NBA, if not the worst by the end of the year. I don't think I have ever had a take in my life that's been more wrong than that one.
I think Scoot just needs some time. I mean, he ended the season pretty good. I think he inexperienced.
Yeah,
Just
I
got
hope
into
so.
the NBA
I
flow.
hope so. They literally
So,
got rid
but
of the G League Ignite, so
I had high hopes for him. Uh, I'm gonna say one of mine. You saying that made me think of Brandon Miller. I had incredibly high hopes. I thought he was gonna be the sidekick to LaMelo Ball, and they were gonna be super good.
yeah,
So I had really high hopes for him. My other bad take that it was the Pacers. Um, I thought they were going to be incredible. I think I predicted them to be like the 3 seed or a 4 seed this year. I
yeah,
thought Tyrese was going to have an incredible year, and he did have a great year. But
yeah.
after the All Star break, things just went downhill. They got past Siakam, and I was like, "This is a team you don't want to see in the first round of the playoffs." I literally said this is a team that the Bucks don't want to see in the first round of the playoffs, and I predicted them to lose to the Bucks. So that was probably one of my worst takes.
Man, if you're listening to this right now, I wanna know what was one of your worst takes this year? At the water cooler, in the office, on Slack, Zoom calls, what was the worst take that you had this basketball season? I'd love to hear it. Uh, speaking of a bad take, Kentucky took BYU's coach to be their new head coach. Wow. Um, this is probably the only thing we're gonna talk about in terms of college basketball. This is gonna close out the podcast. For me, when I looked at it, a lot of people asking, why would they hire Pope? I know he played there, he was a solid player, but why would they hire him? I feel like Kentucky, they didn't want to be told no publicly again. They got rejected by Hurley, the UConn coach. They got rejected by the Baylor coach. They got rejected by the Chicago Bulls head coach. Donovan said no. And I think that every single no was really starting to scare them and get to the fan base. And so they sat down and they said, who can we go to that we know will say yes? And they went to Pope. They poached our guy, a Utah guy. UVU, BYU, Kentucky is wild, a wild
Trajectory
coaching
is crazy making.
trajectory. That's insane. 5-year deal. I think last I saw the number was like 5 million a year. Really, this is going to be, he's got 3 years to get the program somewhere decent, or else he's getting bought out around that fourth year. So, I never wish ill will on anybody in terms of getting a new job. I don't know if I think there were better candidates for that job that were more ready for that job. I don't know if he was ready at this stage for that job, but I can see why Kentucky did it.
It's an interesting hire. Like you said, going from BYU to Kentucky is
We'll never
I've
see
I've
this
never
again.
seen never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like it.
We'll
I don't know
never
what
see it again.
recruiting looks like for him. I don't
It's a
know
lot
if he's taking
easier. It's a
over.
lot easier. It's a lot
Yeah,
easier to recruit, I can tell you
I don't
that.
know what that's gonna look like, but, it'll be interesting to see what Kentucky looks like over the next couple of years and what we've seen from them and what they've produced. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
I agree. I agree. And with that, that's going to be it for the Swishlist Podcast. We appreciate you guys listening. If you're not already, please give us a follow. We're on your favorite social media platforms. We're on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Please, especially YouTube, give us a subscribe. Go listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Share this podcast with somebody that doesn't know who to pick for the first round of the postseason. Next time we see you, it's gonna be the prime. It's literally the prime of the year. The weather, it starts to get a little warmer outside, postseason basketball. Man, what a great time to be alive. The best time of the year is postseason for the NBA. Thank you so much, Roman. Send us off.
Thank you for a great regular season. Thank you for
Mhm.
everybody who has been listening. Time to wrap it up now. If you love playoff basketball, if you want to hear all things playoff basketball, we will get it to you weekly. This is what we do. This is what we live for. This is what I live for, especially. This is my favorite time of year. End of the school year for me, and it's playoff time. This is what I'd love to see. If you're not subscribing, if you're not liking, if you're not promoting us, it's getting ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous at this point. But this is the postseason. This is what we live for. This is what you live for. Interact with us. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Just interact with us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Episode 16, Swishlist Podcast. We are